Hello, you're watching NNN, or New Nintendo News. This is a weekly gaming show where we keep you, yes, we're gonna keep you, yeah, you, we're gonna keep you up to date with the latest Nintendo gaming news. On today's show, we'll be taking a look at Nintendo's new first-party game. Yeah, where did that come from? Surprise announcement. As you can tell, I'm not that excited because it's not that great, to be honest. And we'll also be taking a look at a massive lawsuit. There's a big lawsuit going on right now, and it is kicking off. It's kicking off, mate. Yeah, Epic versus Apple. But I'll tell you more later. And we'll also be looking at Mortal Kombat and bloody Midway and bloody Ed Boon. We'll have a little Mortal Kombat section, shall we? Yeah, is that it? That's it. We'll just be talking about that. Alright. Kicking off our first story, Nintendo have announced a brand new game. Oh yes, they just slipped it on social media the other night. Didn't even tell nobody. What's it called? Game Builder Garage. The game is, it's a set of tools, and it enables anybody to make and program games. Yeah, it's just like a programming game. It's a game where you program. It stinks of Nintendo Labo. It stinks of Nintendo Labo. These tools are the same tools that are the foundations for the Labo sets. Nintendo tried to get everyone into programming basically with the Labo series. Programming is not fun for me. APIs, backend, algorithms, binary numbers, ones and zeros, do you know what I mean? But obviously this is Nintendo at its best. They tried to make it approachable for kids and not anyone. If you had an interest in programming, Labo is a good place to start. It's not a good place to start, it's just the very Nintendo way programming. So yeah, it looks like Nintendo's just expanded the garage feature from Nintendo Labo and they're charging us £30 for it. To be honest, it kind of looks dry to me. The backgrounds look awful. Like, oh really plain untextured character models, just generic shapes. Don't really cut it for me. On the flip side, you've got Sony over here with Dream making absolutely incredible creations with their programming game. I feel like if this game had come out earlier on, I might have been more impressed, but I mean, we've got things like Dreams now and Bible to play. Game Builder Garage and not Dreams. Do you know what I mean? It's a good game, but it's not a good game. I'm just addicted to saying it's a good game. It's not. It's not. It's an overpriced tool that Nintendo are releasing. I doubt that the creation tool will even be that deep where people can make amazing games where I would, you know, buy the game anyway just to download the games and see what people are playing. Yeah, it's not going to be that. I don't think it's going to be that creative. I'm not even going to buy it. Is this even going to do well? I don't know. I don't think so. Oh! One of the good things though, it's not even a good thing. You can use the mouse with it. You can use the mouse to make your games. It's a better control method than it. So yeah, Nintendo have unveiled Game Builder Garage launching on Nintendo Switch exclusively on the eShop. Yeah, on the 11th of June. Moving on to our next story, Mortal Kombat! Johnny Cage, Luke Cage, Shang Tsung, yeah? Mortal Kombat movie came out, Bill and God on it. So it looks like Mortal Kombat was an absolute success. It was #1 in the US box office charts, yeah. It narrowly beat Demon Slayer, and it did well on HBO Max, so... Did you watch it? What do you think? Now, it was... I guess I have to say it's one of the better video game adaptations out there, which isn't hard, to be honest. Is it better than the original 90s movie?
Your soul is mine.
Absolutely not. Was it a good film? Not really, to be honest. I saw the movie, thought it was okay. There were a couple of fatalities in there, but were they great?
How does that feel?
No, to be honest. Second disappointing thing is the tournament never happens. Fuming. Hello. So it's like, okay, they've got the Earthrealm heroes, they've gathered them, but there's only 10 minutes left of the film. Where's the tournament? So as I'm watching the whole film, it kind of feels anticlimactic. The film's called Mortal Kombat. The game's called Mortal Kombat. Why have we not seen any Mortal Kombat? Where is the tournament? What else really annoyed me? The main character. I didn't really like that they had a main character who didn't have any connection to the Mortal Kombat universe in the games. Who is this? I've never seen him before. Why have you created someone new? What's he called? I think he's called Cole. Who is this main character? Who is this protagonist? Who's he going to turn into? What's he going to evolve into? I was watching the whole film. Baffled me. The only fights that I liked was when Sub-Zero and Scorpion were fighting. The fight at the end and the fight at the beginning. Where was the theme tune? Like, that theme tune is so iconic, and it doesn't fit with the new movie and the new movie's tone, but I wanted to hear the theme tune. They're also talking about turning Mortal Kombat into a metaverse. Why is everyone doing this whole shared universe? You don't need to do it all the time. They're saying they didn't put Johnny Cage in there because Johnny Cage deserves his own film because he's so comical, because he's larger than life.
Deadly uppercut, take two.
Action! Cut!
Who hired this guy? What the fuck? Deadly uppercut, take 19.
They're saying that if they put him in this Mortal Kombat movie, it definitely would have clashed.
All right. Let's dance.
So what they're actually proposing is doing like a Deadpool-esque type of film, where it's a standalone film with Johnny Cage, full of hijinks, comedy, humour, and then integrate him into what would maybe be the third Mortal Kombat film. Hopefully by the time then we'll get to the actual bloody tournament. I don't like the fact that they didn't do the tournament. They've been so presumptuous in thinking that this film's going to be so successful that they don't even need to put the Mortal Kombat tournament in there, and that's just baffling to me. It's like the potential is there for this Mortal Kombat universe to grow in scope, and there are a lot of good characters in Mortal Kombat. I mean, to be honest, I'd find that very good. If you give me like a bloody, I don't know, a 10-part miniseries of the history of Dylan Quay and Sub-Zero and Scorpion, yeah, I'd be down to watch that. That would be great. I'd love to see like little standalone spin-off films or whatever, but can you just bring out the next film and get to the tournament, please? So yeah, Mortal Kombat will be available to stream now. You can stream it now on Amazon, YouTube, Google Play, the App Store, all them things. Watch it. Oh, don't watch it. If you're a Mortal Kombat fan, watch it. You might be disappointed. You probably will be disappointed. But I enjoyed it, in a sense. Ed Boon has posted on Twitter praising James Gunn, saying it is very impressive that he has managed to work on Marvel movies and DC movies. But then he puts this thinking emoji at the end. Ed Boon has worked with DC before. He's done the Injustice ones. He's done Mortal Kombat versus DC. Get over here! But he's never done any Marvel game. People are speculating that there could be a Marvel versus DC game coming from Ed Boon. That would be sick, because that's never happened. We've had Marvel versus Street Fighter.
Marvel Superheroes versus Street Fighter!
Marvel versus Capcom. But we've never had DC versus Marvel. Would this happen? I just found that really interesting. We could be seeing a Marvel vs DC game or a Marvel game from the creator of Mortal Kombat. Moving on to our next story! Yes! So basically, let me give you a rundown. Epic versus Apple. Apple? Anyway, so I'm going to read the article because I can't be asked speaking. So reading an article on Game Industry Biz, it says, in August 2020, Epic Games added a hotfix to the mobile versions of the popular Battle Royale game Fortnite that introduced the ability to make payments directly to Epic when purchasing the in-game V-Bucks currency. This subverted the 30% commission both Apple and Google take from purchases made through their app stores. 30% a lot, to be honest. If I slave away for 3 years making the game and then I release it on the App Store and you take 30%, for what? You didn't make it, you're not contributing to it. 30% is a lot. Anyway, so it says, this subverted the 30% commission both Apple and Google take from purchases made through their app stores, violating their developer agreements and prompting both firms to remove Fortnite from their respective marketplaces. So they filed a lawsuit to sue Apple. Anyway, enough about Apple versus Epic. The reason why I'm talking about this story is because there's loads of details that have come out. So let's kick off with the first one, Sony. Let's talk about Sony. Now, do you remember when, was it Rocket League? Rocket League came out and everybody wanted crossplay. And Sony was the only one who was like, we're not going to do it. It doesn't benefit us. No, we're on top of our game. We don't want to play with Xbox. We don't want to play with Nintendo. Whatever, Sony. So Epic's been trying to get Sony to do crossplay for a while. And there's a little interesting email exchange in regards to crossplay, and let me tell you, if I got this email, I'd be screaming. Listen to this. So this is an email from Sony to Epic Games in 2018 dismissing the idea of crossplay for Fortnite, because obviously in 2018 Sony thought they were king of the castle. Lo and behold, Nintendo's about to take over your sales, mate. Anyway, so it goes, Joe, thanks for the note. Sorry that you feel things are moving too slowly for Epic with PlayStation and cross-platform play. I was under the impression that there was no movement with Microsoft and cross-platform. Has that changed? He's so cheeky. Do you know, just those passive-aggressive emails? I'm not having it, I'm not having it. Also, as mobile is important to you, our tournament APIs are important to us. Fuss the ask. Fuss the ask. So Epic are like, look, listen, you're gonna do what we're saying, right? Because we've got the biggest game on your console. I own one of the biggest game franchises going in gaming. I made 9 billion in 2 years. Who are you talking to? Do not be cheeky. Do not be cheeky. How long are we gonna have to wait, bro? How long are we gonna have to wait? I'm glad I wasn't Epic sending this email. So then this is what Epic have proposed. We love working with PlayStation and we want this to be a win-win. The longer this drags out, it will be less so. I can't think of a scenario where Epic doesn't get what we want. We give you the data that you're asking for, plus the marketing data ask. Don't know what that means. Listen to this one. Listen to this one. This is the one that I'm not happy about. See these companies. So this one. We announced crossplay in conjunction with Sony. Epic goes out of its way to make Sony look like heroes. You get to pick the where, when, how. Everybody hated PlayStation for not doing crossplay, but here you got a company just willing to turn it around, and Sony was still saying no. Epic are doing everything. Epic's willing to explore more items. Maybe we commit to a game at the launch of your next VR platform. PS Plus, maybe we do something extra special for a month. Offer a unique character or something highly valuable to drive PS Plus adoption even more. Let's make this a huge win. Epic need to be doing some of this for Nintendo, man. Because I don't see bloody Epic bending over backwards to help out Nintendo like this. Sony's so cheeky. Sony are so cheeky. I appreciate the points that you've listed in the email. There are a lot of great ideas in there for continued partnership. However, cross-play is not a slam dunk, no matter the size of the title. As you know, many companies are exploring this idea and not a single one can explain how cross-play improves the PlayStation business. Open to your thoughts if Epic has... I can't even read the email. Open to your thoughts if Epic has ideas on this since we last talked. Crossplay is just good for the community, Sony. It doesn't need to add revenue. It doesn't need to do well for your business. It's about the community just doing what's best for the gaming world and the gaming landscape. Let everybody play. What's the point in limiting? Sony's got 120 million users, so obviously they think that we don't need anybody else to join in our network online gaming. But that's not the point, Sony. I just like that email. That email gave me a joke. The email gave me a joke. Moving on to the next interesting part of the story, Epic offered Sony $200 million minimum, yep, for 4 to 6 PC, PlayStation exclusive games. You know, things like God of War, Horizon, Uncharted, bloody Days Gone. And they also offered Microsoft some money. Well, no, they were thinking about it, but obviously with Game Pass and the way that Microsoft are on PC anyway, there was a bit of a clash there. They also tried to get Nintendo games on the bloody Epic storefront, but let's be honest, that's never going to happen. The document states that Nintendo talks were essentially a non-starter. Yeah. You're never going to get Nintendo games on the Epic store. I don't even know why somebody's bothered to type that out in the document. It just never would happen. I don't know how much money Epic would have to give for 4 Nintendo games. Too much money. Mario Kart is on like, what, 32 million units? Like, if Epic had to charge Nintendo for Mario Kart, Smash Brothers, Mario Odyssey and Zelda, $500 million. Give me $500 million. That's how much I want for those 4 games. $500 million. And the final one, just as recently as August 2020, Phil Spencer had gone on record. There's a document saying he is not giving up on getting Xbox Game Pass on consoles. Now, I spoke about this last week, 2 weeks ago, whenever the last show was. I can't remember. I'm not convinced. But only 6 months ago, Phil Spencer's still saying that he's not giving up. Yeah, he's not giving up on trying to get xCloud on other consoles, and by other consoles, he must mean Nintendo Switch. Is it coming or not, Phil? I know for a fact that Game Pass is never coming to PlayStation. It's not coming to PlayStation. The competition is too massive there. So who are they talking about? What console is Phil Spencer trying to get Game Pass on? It's Nintendo Switch. Game Pass is going to come to Nintendo Switch. I think they're going to announce that at E3. Moving on to our next story. It's not even a story, it's actually just something I really want to show you very quickly. Nintendo have been uploading new renders for all of their characters. Well, not all of the characters. They did the con the other day. Anyway, they've just uploaded a new render for one of my favourite Nintendo characters. Waluigi, look at it! Look at it! Who designed this? Why is this tongue sticking out like that? I don't know, but I love it. You put Waluigi in this pose. Why is his bottom up there in the air like that? I've got questions. And that's all we have time for this week. We hope you enjoyed the show, and we will see you next week.